Hello students, welcome to this program titled Creativity, Its Meaning and Nature, Characteristics of a Creative Person. The objectives set for the present session are to study the creativity, to understand the creativity from different perspectives, to understand nature of creativity, to study the characteristics of creative people. First, we will discuss the meaning of creativity. God is the creator of universe. God possesses finest creative abilities. We, the human beings, are the creation of the Almighty God. According to the Indian philosophy, we are constituents of supreme power as the rays of sun are the constituent parts of their creator. But some possess high creative talent and some possess less. Creativity is regarded as the greatest asset of mankind. It is an ability that is most vital for shaping the future of man. We get bored with the things that remain unchanged for a long time. Whenever someone introduces a novel idea or product, everyone is eager to buy that idea or product. The attraction to this very field and its research is traced from the second half of present century, when Americans realized that Russians were overtaking them in many areas, especially in space research. The credit for opening the present era of research in creativity goes to Guilford. According to Guilford, creativity involves divergent thinking with respect to traits of fluency, flexibility, and originality of the thought process. From philosophical perspective, creativity is to lead to criteria of value in one domain or other. Philosophers like Plato, Kalidas, and Tagore, they believed that creativity was thought of as a divine inspiration. Scientifically, creativeness involves an imaginative leap to a new perspective. Creative people are often cited as being very curious. This fits with the way their brains work. Rather than simply collect information, their brains play with it. One person might see a horse standing in a field and think it is a magnificent looking animal. Another, more curiously creative person might wonder what that horse thinks about all day in the field. He might wonder how the horse can cope for longer hours of inactive without a book to read. Or he might notice that the horse tends to hang out by the fence that borders another field where another horse resides. The creative person might wonder how two animals that do not have spoken or written language might bond and what kinds of friendship horses might have. It's by often asking these questions, wondering and being curious that creative people come up with spontaneous ideas. The word creativity in itself is meaningful. Creativity is too complex in nature. It's difficult to understand the meaning. However, we have grown accustomed to offer an explanation and elaborate of an already familiar term. Whatever is novel, unique, unconventional, original is considered creative. It's like letting down a bucket into your subconscious and bringing up things you did not know that you knew, and mixing them with things of ordinary daily life that you make a work or art. When you have finished it, you look at it and wonder how on earth you did it. It's a mystery. Highly creative people are different. Their brains are programmed to worry less about fitting in with conventions and staying within norms. It's not that highly creative people are not afraid of ridicule or criticism. Rather, It never occurs to them that others might ridicule their ideas. The dorsolateral prefrontal region of the brain is responsible for intellectual activities. It includes the brain's censorship bureau, the bit of the brain that prevents us from saying or doing inappropriate things. It allows us to control impulses and choose appropriate courses of behavior according to our circumstances. It seems that in highly creative people, this part of brain becomes much less active during times of creation. This makes sense if you can reduce the level of thought regulation when generating creative work, then fewer ideas will filter out as inappropriate and more will be developed and shared. On the other hand, the dorsolateral prefrontal region remains more active all the time in averagely creative people. It filters out crazy thoughts. It prevents the person from saying, doing, or even thinking too much about outrageous ideas. It ensures that averagely creative people think and behave conventionally, and for many people, this is preferred. Most people desire to fit into society and succeed according to existing rules. It's only creative misfits who want to succeed by doing things their own way, by ignoring convention, by having the audacity to believe they know better than convention. The creativity or creative process have been defined in many ways. According to Spearman, creativity is the power of the human mind to create new contents by forming relation and thereby generating new correlates. According to Guilford, the creative process is any process by which something new is produced, like an idea or an object, including a new form or arrangement of old elements. The new creation must contribute to the solution of some problems. According to Redefinition, creativity is an ability to see, to be aware of, and to respond. To him, creativity means to see objectivity without projection. It means to wake up fully to awareness of reality inside and outside of oneself. By incorporating all these viewpoints, we may describe creativity as the capacity or ability of an individual to create, discover, or produce a new or novel idea or object, including the rearrangement or reshaping of what is already known to him, which proves to be unique personal experiences. Let me discuss now nature of creativity. On the basis of different definitions as well as various studies in the field of creativity, the nature of creativity can be summed as: first, creativity is universal. Creativity is not confined to a particular caste, age, color, and creed. It's universal without any barrier. Everyone is capable of demonstrating certain degree of creativity. Second, creativity is innate as well as acquired. Many research studies support the theory of describing creativity as native or inborn. But at the same time, this very ability is being nourished and nurtured by training or education. The influence of cultural background, social setup, experiences cannot be ruled out. Third, creativity produces something new and novel. Novel means newness, freshness, inventiveness. Creativity means to make a fresh, novel combination of existing separate elements or reshape or rearrange the already known facts and principles, or to reform or modify previously known techniques. Every time focus is on novel. It should not be repetition or reproduction of what has already been experienced by an individual. Fourth, creativity is a means as well as end in itself. The nature of creativity is both like means as well as end, as when a person gets inspired to create novel, new, fresh, innovative, unique, then he acts for it. After developing new innovation, fresh information, idea, he feels satisfaction. No one other than creator can experience the warmth, happiness and satisfaction which he receives through his creation. Fifth, creativity rests more on divergent thinking. Divergent thinking is a kind of mental operation in which we think in different directions, sometimes seeking variety from known and remembered information. Unique feature of this type of thinking is that a variety of responses is produced. It involves broad scanning operation, enabling a person to evolve a general multiple possible solutions. Sixth, broad field. The field of creativity is very broad. Its basis can be any field such as writing, poetry, story, play, novel, etc. Discovery or invention in scientific field, dance, music, sculptures, architecture, or in political, society or economical field, etc. 7. Bliss. Creative expression provides bliss and contentment to the creator. 8. Creativity can be developed. Though creativity abilities are given by nature, yet they can be developed by training. Now we'll discuss characteristics of creative people. Creative person gives the appearance of being unconventional, rebellious, eccentric and non-conforming. He disregards public opinion, ignores social pressures, does the unusual, says the unexpected and is often misunderstood and viewed with suspicion. Creative people were characterized by expressions like ingenious, courageous, clear thinking, versatile, individualistic, preoccupied and complicated. Creative people have needs both for any organized world and for imposing their own structure on experience. Persistence, intense striving, as well as the ability to become childlike and remain open to feelings ordinary, suppressed, are singled out as important attributes of imaginative people. Characteristics of creative person that distinguish him from non-creative are divergent thinking, sustainable motivation, imagination, independence, and tolerance. Barron has deeply studied creative people and has prominently described the characteristics in them like: first, ability to concentrate several thoughts at one time. Second, self-dependence in decision making. Third, preference to complex incidences. Fourth, self-determination. Fifth, ability to synthesize scattered facts. Sixth, high level of energy. Seventh, distance from obstacles and freedom of concentration. Venkatamaya suggested the characteristics of creative people as: first, originality. A creative person possesses originality in various forms. Second, autonomy means a creative person is extremely attached to autonomy. Third, independent decision. Creative person has independent decision making power. He has the ability to make decisions of his own. Fourth, sensitivity. A creative person is extremely sensitive. He understands his responsibilities and is serious towards his job. Fifth, curiosity. A creative person has extreme curiosity for his work. He keeps on thinking new ways of doing the same work. Sixth, sense of humor. A creative person keeps on doing things creatively. Creative people display a great deal of curiosity about many things. Creative people are constantly asking questions about anything and everything, may have broad interest in many unrelated areas, may devise collections based on unusual things and interests. Creative people generate a large number of ideas or solutions to problems and questions. They often offer unusual, unique and clever responses. They are often uninhibited in expression of opinion. They are sometimes radical and spirited in disagreement. They are unusually tenacious or persistent or fixating on an idea or project. They are willing to take risks. They are often people who are described as a high risk taker or adventurous or speculative. They display a good deal of intellectual playfulness. They may frequently be caught fantasizing, daydreaming, or imagining. They often wonder out loud and might be heard saying, "I wonder what would happen if," or "what if we change," can manipulate ideas by easily changing, elaborating, adapting, improving, or modifying the original ideas or the ideas of others. They are often concerned in improving the conceptual frameworks of institutions, objects, and systems. They display keen senses of humor and see humor in situations that may not appear to be humorous to others. Sometimes their humor may appear bizarre, inappropriate, and irrelevant to others. They exhibit heightened emotional sensitivity. They may be very sensitive to beauty and visibly moved by aesthetic experiences. They criticize constructively and are unwilling to accept authoritarian pronouncements without overly critical self-examination. Now we'll discuss the categories of creative people. First category are the people who have ability to see or have sensitivity to problem. That is, they can state difficulties or deficiencies in common products or in social institutions, make judgment that desired goals in a described situation have not been achieved. Second category of people have fluency of thinking. That is, they are able to think well and effortlessly. Some have word fluency. That is, they can easily state words containing a given letter or combination of letters. Some have associational fluency. That is, they can easily state synonyms for a given word. Some have expressional fluency. That is, they can easily write well-formed sentences with a specified content. Some have ideational fluency. That is, they can easily produce ideas to fulfill certain requirements. For example, to name objects that are hard, white, and edible, or to write an appropriate title for a given story. Third category of people have flexibility of thinking. That is, they can easily abandon old ways of thinking and adopt new ones. Some have spontaneous flexibility. That is, they can produce a great variety of ideas. Some have adaptive flexibility. That is, they can generalize requirements of a problem to find a solution. Other category of people who have originality. That is, they come up with ideas that are statistically unusual. One more category, that is people who have remote association. That is, they form associations between elements that are remote from each other in time or remote from each other logically. The category of people who have the ability of redefinition. That is, they give up old interpretations of familiar objects and uses them in new ways. One more category of people who have the ability of elaboration. That is, they can fill in details given a general scheme. One more category of people who have interest in divergent thinking, that is, they are open-ended in thinking, where there is not a single right answer. This is all related to our today's topic. Creativity is meaning and nature, characteristics of a creative person. Hope you have enjoyed and understood. Thank you for watching.